maintaining that sort of regulatory compliance and staying up to date on that stuff is important for Anura too. But I assume it's more on the education side for your clients, right?
Most of the clients are way more knowledgeable about TCPA lawsuits and what's going on state by state because they live and breathe it every day. Like if they're selling into a given state, they're listening to those states and they're listening to what's coming up. For us, our job is to help them minimize risk in those areas. And there's a lot of different stuff that goes on. Fraud is one aspect of that. I always believe it's one of the larger part of the aspects because of the fact that it's such a high level. It's 25% of the volume that we see, when we look across all of our clients. So for us, we do stay on top of it. Like Isaac, I'm also on the REACH board. I'm on the Consumer Consent Council. We're focusing on a lot of those issues because ultimately what we're trying to accomplish is get a set of standards that everybody can follow, because it's kind of like every state's got its own regulations and there's no set standards, and the standards are constantly in flux, and you got the companies out there that are trying to do things right, but by whose standards? Since there are no set standards, they're just kind of like, jumping up and down and just running from one place to the next just to try to figure out, how do I stay compliant? And that's, an easily asked question than it is to answer it. But yeah, so I do try to stay as much as I can on top of that. Although, keeping on top of fraud has me kind of busy. So that's constantly evolving. We're catching all kinds of new threats. It's kind of like what Isaac was saying. He's got this tool that he uses that alerts him of new, legislation that's coming out. And we built a tool over the last decade or so that gives us alerts on a daily basis of all the new fraud alerts that our system is catching, the machine learning is picking up on. So our focus is heavily on that side, because as fraud evolves, if that gets through to our clients, it impacts our clients. So our goal is to focus on that and stay abreast of that as much as possible. But yeah, it's for us, it's an education side, because we want to understand what's happening on the client side so that from our lens, we can help them out as much as possible.